Now that you have some goals for your content and you've created a buyer persona, the very next step is to figure out how you are going to track and analyze the data from every bit of content that you put out. Now, I know that this really isn't a fun topic to talk about. No one likes taking data and trying to analyze it, but this is the most important thing you can do for your content. Because if you can see what content you're putting out is actually connecting with your target audience and what content isn't, it helps you to craft better content that is more often going to reach your target market. So to give you an example of this, when I started out producing content on LinkedIn, I was focusing more on personal development and pursuing your dreams. Now, I did a few posts on content and I did a few posts on marketing, but what I found when I tracked the data and I analyzed it was that more people were connecting with the content I was putting out based on content, where I was talking about how do you write better content and how do you produce better content, than anything else I was putting out. And if I wouldn't have been looking at that data, if I would have just been putting out content and hoping and kind of getting a feel of like, oh, I think people really like this, without actually looking at the data, I never would have guessed that content is what would have really connected with my target market. So you need to be able to track and analyze the data on your content. Now, most of the platforms that you are going to publish on probably have some kind of built-in analyzer already. Things that are going to give you information on how many likes and comments, how many people viewed your post, and how many people interacted with it. And these are all basic analytics. And really, to get the analytics that are going to help you to produce better content, you need something a little deeper. Now, there are plenty of software applications out there that will analyze data on different platforms for you and give you a deeper understanding of who is consuming your content. Even if you have a blog, like you can get Google Analytics, and that will give you a deeper dive into who is coming to your website, who is converting on your website. So there are plenty of options out there. There are plenty of resources to help you do this. But if you're like me and you don't necessarily want to spend a lot of money on analytics, there are a few options that you can do. Now, I know for LinkedIn, there is a great company and a great software to analyze your data called Shield. And this is a company that basically connects with your LinkedIn account and gives you very in-depth data on the content you're putting out. Personally, when I am making enough money to invest in an analytics software, this is the company I'm going to go with. So if you are looking for an awesome solution, go check them out. And please understand, this is not a paid post. I'm not getting any kickback for mentioning them. I've researched it. I don't have it in the budget right now to have this software, but when I do, this is what I'm going to use. But until then, what I have been doing is using an Excel document and going through and writing down all the information on every post I put out. So I include information like what date was this content published and what date did I look at the data. I look at what type of content did I produce. Was it a video? Was it a picture? Was it just a post only? Was it a quote your connections? What type of post did I put out? I look at how many reactions and how many comments. I look at how many views were on there. And then I have the formula to determine what was the engagement rate. I also list out what was the topic in way of, was it content? Was it marketing? Was it dreams? Was it finding your purpose or identity? I have those categories. And then I put in what was more the specific topic of that post. So if it was content, but I was talking about buyer personas, I have that on there so I can see what is ranking better than the rest. And what this data does is gives me a snapshot into what is working and what isn't working. So what I have done is I've included a template to that Excel document in the links below. And I want to give a shout out to Austin Henline because he is the one that really helped me to understand how to set up this Excel document and kind of what to include. So he gave me his template and I took it and built on it and made it to what works for me. So give him a follow because he's putting out great content as well. But in the comments below is a link for you to download that Excel document and be ready to start tracking your data. Now, what I do is I usually wait 2 days before I go back and figure out the likes and the comments on the content, because there are some times where it takes a day or two before people actually see the post. And so I hope that helps you to develop a system to analyze the data from your posts. And I really encourage you, I know it's not fun, but do it. Because 2 months down the road, when you're trying to figure out what kind of content should I produce, you can look back at what was successful and what wasn't, and it's going to help you to know where to focus your time and your energy. Take a few minutes every day and analyze the data will help you immensely in the long term. So I hope that helped you. As always, if you have any questions on tracking and analyzing your data, go ahead and leave them in the comments below or shoot me a message. But until tomorrow, when we talk about how do you schedule your content, I hope you all have a great day.